Hello, hello, hi. It is me. It is I. Small town Didi on the internet, and I am big. She's big. We are back on here. This is fast becoming a Real Housewives of Cape Town channel because stories broke last week, but I just did not have the time to sit and talk or apply myself or read the necessary articles to talk about it. The one that I really wanted to talk about was the Ricky Rick story, but I didn't have time to sit and talk. But we're back here and we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Cape Town, and hopefully after here I have the strength, it's almost midnight, to record the Ricky Rick and Bianca one, and I'll see which one I post first. But let's go. Ooh, wine in hand. Hey Tata girl. Oh, so good. Let's get into it. What is it? Chenin Blanc. Great. Okay. So we start off where we left off. The ladies are at this nice lofty place that Tato, I believe, on the Real Housewives of New York. Okay, she's a historian. Tinsley was staying in this apartment to help maintain this image of her being this kept, spoiled girl who is this boyfriend, and it later came out that production was actually paying for that apartment to keep up this image of her having this life. It just worked for the show, and it made her into a hater. Anyway, let's get back into this. We see what, oh, why am I saying that? I believe production is renting that house for Tato. That's why I'm saying that. I don't know it to be true, so I'll say allegedly, but like it looks, I'm not saying Tato can't afford it, but I'm saying like it's sus, like I don't know, something is not working out for me over there. Anyway, we see Tato and the ladies are still going at it. Tato and the ladies are still at it at this point. Tato's saying that I went to the loo and I came back and I overheard Loveline and Lou talking about how my wine is whack and it's a papsak, right? Beverly's confused as to what papsak. My friends and I call it ledzwele because like it's literally like like it looks like it's got a nipple and you suck on it. It's nice and it's soft and stuff. Like if you've been broke, then you know about that dress off. Yo guys, that box has got us through some stuff. Shout out to the papsak. I don't give a shit. Like shout out. You know, I should have got it for this video. Justin J. Anyway, the accuser, what she says, that's what she heard. Actually, Roxy says it. Roxy says you guys will listen to it because I had to go back and watch it a couple of times so I could get my sequence of the scenes in order and really figure out what went down. I hear Roxy saying, you said her wine is papsak, and then Tato jumps on that. Tato doesn't even know what papsak means at this point, or she's just too drunk. Like, I don't know, but Kilitwele girl, that's what it is. And she goes off at them. I don't like, Tato has like, her emotional intelligence is a problem. She's still my favorite. I don't give a shit. It's a problem. Like she fights really dirty because she's wanting a reaction. As she's doing this, she then reaches into like the belly of like nastiness and calls Loveline out of her name and calls an asshole just out of the blue in the middle of an argument, I think, to elicit a response. Like Loveline wasn't giving her the energy she wanted to keep this feud going, so then she decided, let me call her out of her name. And like Loveline is trying to like rise above it, but it's not working out, and she ends up saying to her, you need to take all that energy that you're bringing to me and go fix your household, go attend to your home life. Yeah, Loveline should not have said that. Tato has no business going back to address anything in that toxic situation. She's better off not being there. Guys, my alarm always goes off. I get some gang and I'm in. She's better off not being there. And then when she does that, she then opens up the gates for Tato to attack her on her family. And I don't think everybody sees that, because later in the episode, everybody's talking about, oh, she came for her family. You did that first, Loveline. You're the one who started talking, go home and do this and family this. Up until that point, you guys were talking issues of papsak and not supporting another black woman. And Tato says that I feel like if this were a white person, you all would be trying to drink their wines and you would not be asking for another beverage at my event where I'm clearly trying to promote my brand and that is my wine. You'd not be asking for all these other bubblies and whatever because the person would be white and you'd respect that. I'm inclined to feel that that's kind of true. As an entrepreneur, I'm telling you now, black people, as a black person, how we treat each other in business can be very, very disturbing. It can be so appalling. The little respect or professionalism we choose to engage each other, like it's a very bizarre thing. And there's a tendency for people on the other side who want your services to expect you to meet them at the height of like respect and professionalism, but they never extend that to you, right? If I'm discussing a cake with you now and I'm being professional, why aren't you giving me the same energy? As a black person in business, I can co-sign that shit. I've dealt with that, but not all my people. Y'all don't have, y'all know, okay? If you have dealt with petty picket fence and you've come back to deal with us, then you know we can be pleasant and you are pleasant too. So don't take it to heart and be like, oh my God, she's saying this about us. I'm just saying I've had some dealings, okay? I really have. I've been on here long enough in these entrepreneurial streets and it's a mess. It is a mess. And I've seen how when you go to the cake shops or whatever of Tani Mariki and Miss Naidu, you have manners. You use your good English and you listen to everything that they say. You don't try to bypass channels. You don't try to be like, I don't want to order that way. I want to do it this way. And can't I just come to your house? And no. All of a sudden you understand that this may be a home-based business, but this is a business nonetheless. And there are things in place and there's a reason. The number of times I've had to deal with people trying to make like I'm just a diva. Like just trying to make like I'm on some other mess. Like there's a reason things are in place. We're not crazy. I don't wake up one morning and I'm like, I'm just trying to be difficult. I want my clients to have a hard time. I need your money. I actually need your money. So making your life difficult or making it difficult for you it does not serve me. This veered off. I wasn't trying to do that. Let's rein it back. She calls an asshole. And then Tato turns around and say, oh, you should actually know that your husband is out here sleeping around. And then Loveline, clearly shriveling up, shrinking, fucking embarrassed, says, tell me something I don't know. And then the other ladies help her laugh it off, but they're really embarrassed for her as well. Because I like experienced like secondhand embarrassment through the screen. It was so cringe. It was like, Tato, that's very low, yes, but like that's a reality. And then Tato starts going on and on about how you married into money. And now here's the thing about Tato and Loveline. Sometimes I wish they could just pack away the English, right? Get it into a Ziploc, throw it into the fridge, kocho. So that everybody can get what it is they need to get off their chest, because you all don't have the best command of the English language, and that's fine. That is, you will never ever hear anything from me about that. When you're trying to argue with somebody in a language that you're not fluent in, it's not the same. Like, you're not even trying to mess with me. Okay, girl. It gets nasty. I'm not that person anymore, guys. I've changed. But the point is, Tato has a difficult time. And I think that's why she ends up being so nasty, because certain things in my language are everyday swear words, if you would like, or everyday critique or whatever. When you say them in English, they can sound just so harsh and so brash. And I feel like that's her problem. Like how we dismiss each other in our native tongues, when you do it in English, it just sounds so much. So I feel like sometimes they just need to pack away the English, okay? And then just go at it. I understand sometimes you realize you're among other women who don't speak any African languages, but I'm here to let you know that that's not your fucking problem. Like white South Africans existing in South Africa and the majority of them never bothering to learn any of our languages should not be something that we make our problem. Like, how the fuck long you been here? Like you don't speak one language, like in whatever area that you live. you don't speak whatever African language that is like predominantly spoken in that area. You don't speak any Xhosa, you don't speak no Zulu, like, and it's supposed to be my problem. I must now find English words so that you can understand that I'm cussing you the fuck out. Like, put it in a back shelf somewhere and start swearing in English so that you can answer. Go fuck you, get out, like, no. So I this part confuses me where they do this. This video is gonna be long because I'm staying on this for too long, but stay with me, please stay with me, okay? Tata says your husband's cheating. Loveline tries to like brush it off, like, tell me something I don't know. Now, ladies, bitches, lean the fuck in and let's talk. Let's have this chat, because on the Manewa video, when I spoke on accountability, a lot of you were running around here in my WhatsApps and wherever talking about how, oh this, oh that. Loveline has a 1-year-old. Loveline has a 1-year-old with her same husband, whom she tells us is sleeping around and it has children outside, and it's baby mamas galore. It's raining baby mamas. There are not enough umbrellas to just, it's raining baby mamas out here. Loveline, the same Loveline. So is there no conversation of accountability here? Do we not talk accountability in terms of, are you worried about your health, Loveline? And when Tata says you married into money, and then because Kwaka, where like, I can, you know, like, she says to her, you're now having to put up with a man ill-treating you and making babies on you because you don't have anything of your own. And that makes me better than you. And you don't want to support this brand that I'm building on my own, so that I don't end up in a situation like you, where my rebuttal to people telling me my husband is for the streets, he's shit as the town bicycle. Your response is, tell me something I don't know, girls giving. Get tested for some shit, girl. Like, seriously, you have a 1-year-old with that man whom you admittedly are running around just saying he sleeps around on you. Girl, like, and you're gonna be the world's biggest victim in 2 years, like, oh, he gave me this and he gave me that. No, girl, you laid there and you took that from him. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. You all put up with it. Look, guys, there's a price to pay. You fucking hear me? There is a price to pay for these lifestyles that you guys want to be provided to you by men. There's a price to pay. He doesn't just take care of you and then, oh, nice, you know, you're Gucci, like Tato says. Tato's like, and I actually feel like, you know, I'm actually Gucci. I'm like, that's my girl. If Tato don't have a line of t-shirts, like a wine bottle, Tato girl, somebody tell Tato that I said this and give my cut, girl. But like a shirt with a wine thing, with a wine silhouette, if you would like, and all the messed up shit she said all season, I'm buying all them t-shirts. A good quality white tee with Tata saying, I feel like I'm Gucci. Ah, I'm buying the shirts. I'm buying. Hit me up. Hit me up. One of my friends is an animator. She can actually do cute little graphics for you. I'll link y'all. Call me, Tato. Y'all tell Tato to call me. Okay? She can say all the nasty shit she said all season. I know we're buying them shirts. We are. Okay? And then they talk about that. And yeah, I'm so embarrassed for Loveline, guys. I'm really embarrassed. And then Camilla. Yo. Camilla, Scar, Rothschild, Rupert, what. I don't know what her surnames are, but those look like they sit well on her, right? Scara. By the way, I've never noticed her scar up until this episode. Like, the producers are making sure we see. They're so shady. Camilla pulls Bear beside her and Roche at the same. Guys, this scene was so long, but it was necessary. Pulls her aside. They said, she's like, oh my God, you just weren't yourself when we were in Grayton. And I was like, Camilla said to Bev in Grayton when she learned that she had saged her home and all of that, she's like, it's okay. It's like, Hunter, this bitch is plotting the whole time with yo. I'm gonna have her shit out here for the people to see. Pulls her aside They sit on the couch, and then when she pulls out the files, this is a true Real Housewives moment. Real Housewives love printouts, guys. Like, they love to go to the shop and print out your text message, like, or you use paper clipping. I love it. I love it. I love a good tangible, you know, receipt. They sit there, and when she starts, she's like, oh, I don't think I should be here for this. And then Camilla's like, no, she's gonna need your support. It's how Camilla is trying to frame this. Camilla is in her Meryl Streep bag meets Viola Davis meets, I don't know, like, she's in her acting chops, and I'm like, you go, girl. You go, girl. Camilla is there. She's like, y'all, so I found these articles on your ex-husband. So it turns out Beverly was married to a very kind of dude. This person, from what the articles that Camilla was reading alleged that he was dating, he put out a hit rather on his ex-wife when she was dying of cancer, and he had also had an affair with his lead huntsman or the partner, a whole bunch of things. And then she says to she says to Beverly, is that your ex-husband? Like, did you know these things before you married him? And then Beverly's sitting there clearly just like shrinking and embarrassed that this girl's putting me on blast like this. This shit is out there. It's newspaper clippings. We would have found it eventually, right? But she shrinks when Camilla is saying these things, and she's like, I didn't know about these things until we were married. I do not believe Beverly. Beverly's a Barbie bitch who wants to be kept. And she's the type to think she's the exception, or she's the type to think she will navigate the room better. Women like Beverly exist. They get married to men who've like ill-treated their partners before in the worst way possible, and they just think it's not gonna happen to them because they are in the gym working out. So it's not gonna happen to them because they are pretty and they know how to be a good woman, and that other bitch just didn't know how to behave. I don't believe her. I do not believe her. She knew. And when she learned, it's not like she packed up her bags and got out. She was the main one in her confessionals when Tato was like, you married into man. She's like, well, what's wrong with marrying man? And it's a little layered for me. How black women don't, we say that to each other when somebody marries into money, as opposed to being self-made. Like, we really want to make them feel bad about it, like they didn't work hard or what have you. I hate writing. That seems like a lot of work. So I think these girls work hard. We don't give them enough credit. We really don't. She told, and then Beverly's feeling like, you know what, I don't like Camilla. She puts on a performance. She says this in her confessional. She's a completely different person when with people around. She puts on this performance, right? And then she says to her at the end, I think that's why you weren't okay in Grayton, because this man is putting out, like, you know, cryptic threats in his posts. Because she says he posted recently that marriage, what did he say? Marriage is like a deck of cards. All you need in the beginning are 2 hearts and a diamond, and in the end you wish you had a club and a spade. And she's like, that sounds like a death threat. Maybe that's why you weren't your bubbly self. Mind you, Beverly was fucking fine in Grayton. She's fine. Camilla was there doing platters, like arranging hydrangeas, knowing good and goddamn well she's gonna print out this shit. I stand. Love a long game. These bitches cannot roll with this woman. She will always outwit them. She really will. I love this for her. I really do. We go back outside, and now when Tato's saying things to Loveline about her family and her husband, Rooksy gets upset. She's like, you need to tell her who you got this information from, because you've been hanging with me a lot lately, and her and I aren't cool. So it's looking like I'm gossiping about my friend's home life with you, and that's not what's happening. So I need you to tell her where you're getting this from before this shit sticks on me. I don't like how physical Rooksy is. I don't, because it escalates very, very quickly. She's a big woman, like she's towering, you know? She's like handling Tato, like doing this to her by the face and grabbing wine things out of her hand and just being very physical with her. And if Tato was a physical person, these people would have like proper brawled, like proper, you know? But Tato isn't. She's of the mouth. And then Tato makes up a person. She's like, oh, it's so and so. that told me this, but this person is not real. Loveline is sitting there trying to act like she's not embarrassed that her husband is for the streets. Whatever, okay? Rixie's like, you need to stop saying things that you can't substantiate. Don't say things that you can't back up. Like, if you're gonna sling mud, make sure you have all your receipts. Like, you can't just say, oh, and they say this, but like you have nothing to really back it up. Like, there's no bark in that. Like, actually there's a lot of bark, right? And there's no bite. Like, there's just you saying, repeating something you heard, and there's nothing to it. So you need to quit doing shit like that. That's what Rixie says. And then in the next scene, we see Loveline, and then Loveline gets to bring on so many people on this show, and I need to understand why. Why? Like, at which point does production sit down and realize that Tato's the anchor of the show? While they're filming, and before they even get to the cutting floor and start to chop shit up, at what point do they realize that, actually no, let's have Tato bring in one of her messy friends to make it messier? They keep bringing us Loveline's boring people. Another one, like, she isn't even, I think it's just because I've gotten used to this cast already, and they're trying to just slaughter in very, oh rough man, there's no lubia. And it's like, I don't, maybe she'll grow on me. I don't think so. I don't know, man. She's just so blah. Whatever. I think she says her friend's name Ruth or something. They meet up in Kailicha. It's Lucine. They meet up with Lou there, and the lady who owns the spa, I forget her name, pretty lady, shows them around the spa. And Tato's like, Loveline is actually familiar with this lady that owns the spa in the middle of this township, and it looks gorgeous. I love to see township development. As an entrepreneur, we're back here. I've always been interested in like building my business in the ghetto and making it something in the ghetto, but it's so layered for me. It's so layered for me in my township. I don't always feel the most, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't feel the most, you know, you can be from somewhere, but whenever you're entering into spaces, people want to other you. I get othered a lot in this township that I live in. People like thinking whatever shit that they want to say. So it's a tricky thing for me to want to develop, to want to contribute to the development of a space that I haven't always felt is supportive of me. It's like, even when I started my business, for the longest of time, I was getting business from town and other townships around Zenin before I started getting clients from my own township. So that's interesting. To this day, I have more clients now in my own township, but my township is not my lead clientele. They're not. So it's interesting to me because I want to contribute to the economy I want to employ people from my own township. I don't understand the logic of taking my talents and my hard work and going to develop another area. Like, it doesn't track to me. But I'm also like, I don't feel loved here. So is this really worth it? You know, lot to think about there. You guys do with that what you want, and I will do with my talents what I want at the end. We see this girl has built this lovely establishment here, and it's a spa type thing. Young woman. I don't care how she went about doing it. I'm just proud of her. And then Blue and Loveline and friend, I think her name is Ruth, guys, get to talking. Loveline is chilling. The other two are getting their feet done or something. And then Loveline updates her on all the things that transpired after Tato kicked her out at the vagina party, whatever, I don't know what it's called. And then she's like, oh, and then she's like, first of all, Tato didn't say anything about baby mamas in the first scene. She just said your husband is sleeping with everybody. We learned from Loveline. So Loveline is trying to now get ahead of this narrative and just put it all out there so that it doesn't trickle out and she keeps having to deal with the embarrassment. So she's like, yeah, she said that my husband is it's baby mamas everywhere. I was like, girl, he even got babies on you. Oh, I mean, it's not like the sleeping around is any better, but he had babies. Now, that's the thing that men do. Like, you support them, you help them make their money, you do this, and then Rena, the side chicks, we just benefit, and then we make kids, and then in the end, our kids also get to get a leg of the shit that you help build. Yo, guys, men will embarrass you. Men will be the fucking death of you. Love line, you're another one I need to talk to about. Like, you keep saying you have a brand, you don't. You don't. Everybody keeps saying you don't. You just say you do. I think you think if you say it enough times, it becomes true. But that's just not how life works, beloved. So lean in. Let's have a chat. Here's what I think you should do, because I went to your Instagram page. How you're trying to brand yourself is not landing because you are a woman of a particular age. Right? I don't know how old you are, but you are not around the K-Yams, the Mitlalis. You're not in that age group where the women or the young women in that age group are aspiring to those kinds of things. I don't understand why you're not leaning into your momfluencer bag and you're trying to do more lifestyle content. You need to find a way to marry them. You need to find a way to marry these things. Your teenage daughters, they're gonna go on their period soon. You can be having little stupid talks about how, here's how I spoke to them about like their period cramps, and Always Ultra will give you a sponsorship or some shit. I don't know, girl. But you need to lean into your momfluencer bag. Just stop trying to sell us lifestyle shit. You're not the girl you think you are in that area. Love your eyeshadow look in your confessional. Love that pink, girl. I'm not saying you don't know how to be put together. I'm saying we are not coming to you for that. We're gonna go to Mitali. We just are. Like, I don't relate to you. I don't look at you and I'm like, sister, don't. You know, and that's not, it's not like anything to do with your character or anything. I just rethink that. You're raising like so many kids. The other one is just one. You could have like, girl, lead into the momfluencer shit. No, stop trying to sell us lifestyle. That's all I have to say to you. And then Lou, we're back to talking about the what's her name? Munewa video. In the Munewa video, I said, you all don't call each other out on things because you know you are stuck in the same pattern. Lou aids her friend in her nonsense of allowing a man to go out there and possibly get her disease and bring it back so she can get sick and die and leave her kids. Lou says she went for your family. No, she didn't go for nothing. Tato didn't go for anything. Your husband is the one who makes it such that people can say shit like that to you. But for that to be your response, it makes me feel like maybe you're in the same predicament. Hey, girl. Right? It's always those girls that, oh my God, people are just gonna say. And then Tato's like, there's so many things about her home life that by the way, I hate that blonde wig this woman keeps wearing. She's so pretty in the confessionals with the black hair. I need her to stop with that blonde wig. I don't know. It does something to my spirit. Like, I don't like it. Oh, God, I don't like that wig. Lou's like, oh my God, she came for your family. She came. No, girl. No, I'm afraid that's not what happened. I have no sympathy for women who... And it's probably like as a historian, it's dig back into my Real Housewives of franchise historian bag. A lot of the women come on and they don't have their monies all the way there. And by the third season, maybe they've built strong enough brands and they have enough leverage in their relationships, economic-wise, to negotiate for either you need to quit doing. Most of them start to out-earn their husbands. And their husbands need to start towing the line, or divorce happens. And maybe that will happen for her, right? Maybe she'll get her momfluencer shit going and then she will have the means to leave this situation. But some of you stay because some of you just must have a man so bad. They talk about that. Oh, what else do they do? Oh, yeah. Tato and Bev go grape picking for Tato's wines. And Tato has a friend. Oh, the Mkhotsi talks, guys. This was not the friend Tato should bring on. Her name is Rosemary. Rosemary is a lot to say. They go on a kariki thing and then they get to their grapes and they're picking, and then you know what, Rosemary is actually a conversation, like she's a shit story. She started this for us. I appreciate you. Hey Rosemary girl. Rosemary says to Babe, you know how much Tato cried when you did what you did, so they now need to hash their shit out. Tato's very quick to take accountability where she feels like she's hurt you, but that doesn't give her the right to fight as nasty as she does. Like, if you're gonna fight that nasty, you only need to come and say sorry, and then to fight that nasty, it means you're not sorry. So she says to Babe, what hurt me is that you went to Loveline of all people at that lunch that they had back in episode 2 or 3 or something, where she's like, you went to Loveline and you started talking about how I'm going through a lot and I'm having a drinking problem and this, that, and the other. And then they hash things out in the vineyard, on the vineyard. I don't know. Miss Reynolds would be so disappointed. But then in their confessionals, they both say, yeah, I don't trust her. I think she's a snake. I'm like, what is this? Why are they making up and we're telling each other that, okay, we're going to work on building back trust, but we're not 100% there? Or we're just going to be like, nah, bitch. So like, it is what the fuck it is. But for you guys to be kumbaya in person, and that's some fake shit. I could not get behind that. And then they go and is it stomp the grapes. They put them like in a barrel, and then you guys like get in there in your feet and you have a good time, and Beverly's not being a good sport. She's like, oh my god, I spent so much on my feet. And then they like ask Rosemary if she's done it before, and my girl lets them know she's well traveled. My girls are like, yeah, I've done it in France and Italy, and we should go because over there. I'm like, yes, yeah. Should go. Should just go to France, girl. Go to France, hey. But yeah, we should go because over there they have another step. After we're done doing this, we usually do it wearing white and we pour each other with wine. I would clearly love this shit, okay? Love me some grapes. And then they sit down, they get to talking. Beverly's irritated by Rosemary. She's like, I feel like she keeps interrupting me. I'm trying to have a moment with my friend. We're trying to hash things out and she keeps talking. And then I think Rosemary was asked to leave that scene, honestly. She leaves the scene. They stay, the two of them, to talk. I hated the scene. I'm very disappointed in Tato. I know you're like, Didi, you're only disappointed in Tato now after all the shit that Tato's done. Yeah. She's still my favorite. Yeah. I don't know what that says about me. I'm not sure I can. But then she tells Tato that Camilla, Babe tells Tato that Camilla ate my shit and tried to cloak it in concern, but that's not what the fuck this was. This woman was trying to embarrass me. And then Tato says, how could she do that when she has been through similar, or she has her own shit to deal with? What I don't understand is, ladies, how do we weaponize abuse and try to make like abuse is dirty laundry? Like Camilla being abused by her ex-husband, allegedly getting choked out. Tato alleges that Camilla told her that she was in such an abusive relationship. This person will call her that she's fat, will call out of her name, call her fat and ugly, and that she's good for nothing. And this person would choke her out to, you know, for her to be unconscious. But Tato says choked her to death at first. And I'm like, is that the same Camilla we saw? Get on the shirt, girl. Get on the shirt. I'll buy it. And then they're like, she has her own stuff. This is abuse. This isn't ammunition to hurt somebody. Like you telling somebody, oh, and you used to get choked out. Girl, what? Am I missing something here? How are you guys? Tato, first of all, Camilla was sharing this stuff with you to help you realize that she's not judging you in your situation. She's been through something similar and she's gotten out of it, so there's hope for you. She's doing it to assist you, and this is how you reacted. Anyway, we see Tato have a therapy session. I'm like, this bitch got a therapist? You have a therapist, Tato, and you don't know how to regulate your emotions? Is this your first session? It doesn't seem like it. Tato, like, do you ever tell your therapist that you are volatile? Because, girl, she tells her therapist how she's lived to this relationship of 16 years. Loveline alleges that she was kicked out and she's actually homeless at this point. It seems like her son is still with Muhammad. Now, ladies, oh my God, I hate it when you guys say, oh, but he's such a great dad. Nobody thinks the man who's ill-treating their mom is a great dad. Ask the children who come from these situations. Ask the adult children of people who were partnered with a person who wasn't a good partner to them, but maybe they were a provider for the kids, and that like automatically qualified them as good dad. And they'll tell you, I don't like my dad. I don't. He wasn't very nice to my mom. Nobody likes the guy who's not nice to the person who labored for them. Nobody. You can't divorce these things, and you guys do it a lot. Like, he's a shitty husband, but he's such a great dad. When you're little, you idolize your father. You put them there. They're such a superhero. But when you grow up and you really start to understand the dynamics of how a relationship functions, and you start to look, when your things are lined properly, if you fucking think straight, then you start to see your dad for the shit person that he is, and it's not nice. And then you don't think he's a fucking superhero. And then you look at your mom like, is this what you fucking stayed for? Then your mom turns around and she's like, oh, I stayed for you. Did you? Did you? You didn't just stay because this is your man and you wanted to stay and you used me as an excuse. Nobody, my brother and I gave somebody a ride on our way back like a couple of weeks ago. And this guy's like, I hated my dad. He was not nice to my mom. When he died, I felt nothing. And the mom thought, okay, fine. He hits me. He does this to me, but he doesn't do it to his kids. He's a good dad. No. No kid wants to see that. He's not a fucking good dad. She talks in her therapy session. You know what? There's been this conversation a lot on the internet, especially with black people, as we try to seek, you know, psychological and sometimes psychiatric assistance, that dealing with a therapist or a psychiatrist that looks like you makes the process less threatening. They also understand the nuances that go with being a black woman, and they don't throw the textbook at you. Now I want to cough. Why? Not a mess. And I'm not saying that you know, a non-black therapist would not be able to assist this person, but I'm saying life experiences shape how we all work, how we operate and work, and therapy is not any different. Getting the right therapist, the pairing of patient to therapist, it's a thing. It actually needs to go together. It's like chocolate and caramel and orange and dark chocolate and, like, you know, classic flavors. It's a thing. It's not a simple issue of you're qualified, therefore you can treat me. There are nuances, and you might miss some of them. You know, and there's also, you know, people have their biases and all manner of things that they carry with them into their workplaces. And often as black people, we're misdiagnosed or not taken seriously because we're supposed to be mbogotos. So another black woman would understand that Tato is tired, you know, and somebody non-black might just feel like black women are so strong because that's the image that they've sold to the world about us, that when we break down, it's so bizarre. Like last week when Loveline was crying, or the other week, everybody was like, why is she crying? That it happens. She's tears. Anyway, Rush goes to the doctor. This scene was a filler scene. They check the baby's healthy. They don't want to know the sex. I don't care to talk about the scene. But that's about it, guys. That's what happened. I loved this episode. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like Tato's in deep shit next week. I think they're having sort of a come to Jesus powwow where everybody's gonna tell her that you did this and you did that and you did this and you did that. So, but it looks like my girl's ready for them. I didn't leave nothing out, right? Oh, yeah. Rixie, Loveline, and Rush. Rush always looks bad as fuck. All her scenes where she's walking and I'm like, you better serve. You better serve, mama. You are who Loveline thinks she is. Loveline did look cute in the scene. Rixie needs a stylist. She needs a stylist and she just needs a fucking stylist. It's like she's dressing 2 sizes down, man. It's that simple. She's always in a bandage something, always in something that's just too tight, and it's like, when you're wearing this, when you like, and this is not me body shaming or anything, I'm clearly a big girl, but I also know when I'm wearing a dress past its due date. Like, that doesn't matter. They have their dinner where they talk about all of these things that Tato said, and then Loveline acts like she's unbothered again, and how, yeah, these are things that I know about my husband already, blah blah blah. Don't be a victim 2 years from now, girl. I'm not gonna fucking take you seriously. I care, you know, you are basically in like a one-sided polygamous thing. Like, he gets to be out there doing whatever and you stay at home, and then at the end you're gonna be hospice care or kamutagola and stuff from him running the streets ragged. Like, so you do you, mama. You be happy. That's it from me. Mwah, mwah, mwah.